So it seems like every single year, Madden 23, the ratings come out and half of them suck. More than half of them suck. Half the teams get screwed over. Half the players get screwed over. It's always the same players every year getting the higher ratings. Granted, those are the players that are good every single year. They do deserve it. But there are some spots where Madden just cannot get right. And one of the teams that they screw over every single year is the Indianapolis Colts. They have players like Darius Leonard at an 88 overall. They have players like Jonathan Taylor, not high enough. They have Nick Chubb and Derrick Henry higher than Jonathan Taylor. Derrick Henry, I get. Nick Chubb, no. Jonathan Taylor is much better than Nick Chubb. You look at these Colts, we're going to go through the Colts thing right now. I'm going to go through all of the ratings, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on every single player that the Colts rated. So if you enjoy Colts content, this is a little different. I usually just do Colts, but it's kind of slow right now. So really, I decided, why not look at the Madden 23 ratings? Give my thoughts on it. Going to be doing a Madden 23 series for the Colts on Madden 23 I'm not sure the schedule yet, but I'm going to be doing a Colts franchise. And if you're interested in Colts stuff, make sure you like, subscribe, put the post notification bell on to miss any future videos, and let's get right into it. So Quentin Nelson is a 95 overall. That's a good rating. That's a great rating and all. Especially for the year he had last year, a little bit down here. So I think 95 is actually a really fair rating for Quentin Nelson. Then you have Stephon Gilmore, 95. I think that's a bit high for Stephon Gilmore. Last year he was injury prone. And, I'm kind of surprised he is ranked this high, and Darius Leonard isn't ranked this high, But, yeah, Stephon Gilmore, I think that's a little high, but we'll take it, So then you look at Jonathan Taylor, 92 overall, really is not a bad overall, but I feel like he's a much better than the 92 overall. I just think Taylor is much more talented than 92. I think he did a lot better to garner a bigger overall, but, I guess EA just doesn't want to give him it, which he deserves it. He worked for it. So they shouldn't have to, give it to him. He earned it. You know what I'm saying? And then you have DeForest Buckner at 90. I think that's fair. I think Buckner is amazing. His production wasn't the greatest last year, but without him, there would be virtually absolutely no pass rush in Indy. There would be nothing. But now this year, it's a complete opposite. We're going to have a pass rush. We're going to have the inside, the interior. This line is going to be amazing, going to be very strong, very strong. And then this is where things really take a turn for the worst. Darius Leonard was put as an 88 overall for Madden 23. Just look at my face. And my face tells the whole story. This kid, Darius Leonard, had 4 interceptions, around 120 tackles. He had a lot of tackle for losses. He had so much playmaking ability, and he proves it. He does it. The production is there. A lot of players are very good. They don't have crazy ton of production just because of their position or for whatever reason. Leonard has production. He has a locker room presence. This kid should be a 95 or higher. There's no reason for this kid to be, below at least a 92 or 93. 8 forced fumbles. This kid had more turnovers than some teams last year. And you're going to have the nerve to sit here and give him an 88, the 5th highest rated linebacker in the game? Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense? No. It does not make any sense. And then let's move on and read some more. So Kenny Moore, maybe let's lower this camera a little bit. That's a little better. There we go. So Kenny Moore, 86 overall. I think that's fair. Best slot corner. Yeah, he is the best slot corner in the league. So him 86. I think that's fair. They're not gonna get but I think they should solely put slot corner as another position and rate it separately, because a lot of slot corners don't play outside, but then, some outside corners play slot, so I guess I see why that's very difficult to do. But if you have guys that primarily play slot, maybe you can find a way to incorporate that into making the overalls, because Kenny Moore 86, but if you just consider slot corner, he would be 90 plus, but 86 is phenomenal. Definitely deserves 86 and above. Brayden Smith with an 85. So Brayden Smith is a very good right tackle, right? Comes out of Ball State. He's expected to play guard, and the Colts offensive line experienced some injuries. So they kicked him out to right tackle, and the rest was history. So Brayden Smith is a pretty good right tackle for the Colts, right? That's an understatement. He is very good. He's great. He's great. Issue is, he has some injury concerns last year, and he was just paid, so we want to see him stay on the field, and we want to see him find consistency, which he does have consistency. But I mean more so consistency in being able to stay on the field. He stays on the field. He's one of the best right tackles in the game. Last year, the year before last year, he faced so many crazy good defenders. None of them got anything on him. Barely anything. This kid is very talented. I think 85 is fair, especially with him being injured last year. But if he has a really good season, I can see him jumping up to 88 plus, maybe 90. But you know how EA is when it comes to Colts and rating players. It's kind of stupid. They don't know how to rate players when it comes to Indianapolis. Ryan Kelly, an 83 overall. I think he should be a little higher. As I've said, he is inconsistent, yet he is still a very good guard and a top 10 guard in the league, or guard center. So I would bump him up to 85. I think 85 is fair for Ryan Kelly. Then you have Grover Stewart, 83. That's fair because he doesn't have a big name for himself right now, but he doesn't have a lot of production. He is amazing in the run game. He's one of the best run defenders in the game, especially on the interior. I think 83 is fair. Matt Ryan, 83. I think Matt Ryan could be a little higher. Even though last year, he didn't have the greatest of years for what he had. He had a very decent year, But, 83, I could see it. It's fair. It's whatever. He's an aging quarterback. But aging doesn't necessarily mean bad. Remember that. I think that's more of a prediction for this year with the 83. Michael Pittman Jr., 83 overall. I think that's a fair rating, even though, he did have a pretty decent year, pretty good year. But we want to see him do it more consistently before EA gives him a bigger rating, which I think is completely fair. He's been a very good receiver for 2 years now. Now, if he has a year where he goes off, has like 1,400 yards, which I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if Pittman's really that kind of guy to go for 1,500 yards. Maybe 1,300 yards, absolutely. Maybe 10 touchdowns. I can see 10 touchdowns. I think the kid is a very good wide receiver. I think he's a very big-time red zone threat, and Matt Ryan will make sure to make use of that. 83 fair. T.Y. Hilton at an 82. He's not in the Colts. Now, he's not in the Colts, but he's a Colts player, so they're going to rank him. Well, he was, but I think 82 is high for Hilton. As I've said, I love Hilton. And in the past, 82 would be low. But now I think around a 75, 76 for his age, I think that's fair. I think they're giving him I think they're giving T.Y. a higher rating than maybe he should get, honestly. I just don't see the speed there anymore. He's got very good route running. He's a good red zone threat. Even though he's small, he's a very good red zone threat because he's smart. But 82, I think that might be pushing it with T.Y. a little bit. Unique Ngakoue at 82. I think Ngakoue should be higher. He's one of the best pass rushers in the league. Now, production-wise, he does show it a little bit. He's had double-digit sacks multiple times. This kid is very talented. I think he should be a little higher than 82. Xavier Rhodes not on the team. Bobby Okereke, 79. That's fair. He has times where he's inconsistent. Rodney McLeod, 79. That's fair. Julian Blackman, 78. I think he's going to bump that up quite a bit. I think Nyheim Hines is going to bump his up from a 78 as well. Now they have Jack Doyle listed here. I don't know if that's a mistake or not, but he's not. He's retired. Kwity Paye, 77. Fair, but he also did come on towards the end of the year. Came on very strong towards the end of the year, so I think the kid. So I think 77 is fair, but I think he's gonna bump that up. Maybe like an 80 or higher next year. I think he's gonna be a breakout player. I say maybe 84 or higher. I say he has that much of an impact season with the Indianapolis Colts. Corey Willis retired, not with the Colts no more. Philip Lindsay is 75. I think he's had injury problems. He has a hard time staying on the field. I think 75 is okay. Hot Rod, 75, whatever. We haven't seen him in a year. It's a big year for him. So we're gonna see what he does this year. Kickers and special teamers don't really get ranked high. Where he goes, 75. Mo Cox is a 75. I think that's fair as well. I want to see Mo Cox find more consistency in the passing game and catching the ball, route running. I think he could with Matt Ryan. Carson Wentz was inconsistent. Plus, we didn't run the ball as much. He's gonna get more volume, more chances. So I'm excited for that, but I think he could bump his up a little bit too if Matt Ryan could really help him have a big-time year. Now, one of my favorite players in this entire team. Now, I don't play favorites, but I'm mainly saying that this kid is going to have a huge breakout season. This kid is going to break out. This kid is going to show everyone what he is worth in 2022. Isaiah Rodgers is 74. Won't be surprised if that's like into 70 or no, an 80 or plus next year. I really think Isaiah Rodgers is that kind of corner, and especially with having a mentor, Stephon Gilmore. I'm really excited for Isaiah Rodgers, and I think that's a fair prediction. TJ Carey, I don't think he's on the team anymore, so not really gonna talk about him. But 74, I think he was hurt. Tyquan Lewis, 74, him being hurt a lot, having a hard time staying consistent. Before last year, he was expected to be a cut, and he made it, and then made a big impact. Unfortunately, suffered the injury, on a play where he had some success. He was playing very well. And 74 is fair because we didn't see much consistency, but he couldn't really show it. It really wasn't his fault. He got hurt. Eric Fisher, not on the team no more. He's a 73. Eric Fisher should be like a 60. Paris Campbell, 73. Fair. He's been injured all the time, but he's got speed, and we know the talent was there. Jaleel Adai, don't know much about him. Dennis Kelly, 72. Good role player. He could sub in all over. He's gonna be a good backup. Ashton Dulin, 70. Speedy guy you could sub in. Maybe 2 or 3 times a game. Let him run a deep route or just get the ball in his hands to see what he could do. Badgley, 70. Antoine Woods, 70. Nick Foles, 69. Isaac Rochelle, not on the team anymore. Ben Banogu, 69. I think Ben Banogu should be lower. Taylor Stallworth, 68. He's not on the Colts anymore. I don't know why they have him on the Colts. Brendan Fashion, 68. I want to see some from him. Matt Pryor is a 67. I think Matt Pryor is much better than 67. I think Matt Pryor can be a 75 or more. I think 75 is a good spot for him. Last year, he was very good. When he had to step in, when he played for Brayden Smith or Eric Fisher, I thought Matt Pryor was a very good tackle, was a very good player for this Colts team. I'm surprised he's only a 67. Dayo, 67, didn't see much for him. We know the talent's there. Zaire Franklin, 66. He's a decent linebacker. I would put him a little higher. Maybe not crazy higher, but a little higher. Kylan Granson, 65. And then after that, you have Desmond Patman, Robert Windsor, EJ Speed, Mike Strawn, Sam Tevy not on the team no more. Sam Tevy is not. Jordan Glasgow's not on the team. You have Danny Pinter at a 60? That's ridiculous. I think Danny Pinter is going to be like a 70 plus from, after next year. Now, do I think Danny Pinter is a long-term answer? Absolutely not, but I think he's a guy that has a chance to be a decent guard. Will Fries, 58. Sam Ellinger, 58. Deion Jackson, 56. Luke Rhodes, 28. All right, so, and the rookies are not added yet, so we would go. So I could make another video for the rookies when they come out, if you guys would like that. But yeah, these Madden ratings, some of them are good, some of them are bad. Really dislike the Darius Leonard one, 88 for a player that makes that arguably makes the biggest impact in the NFL on his team. On defense especially, I think Darius Leonard is very good. He makes a lot of impact, even though, guys like Aaron Donald make a lot of impact, TJ Watt, but Darius Leonard is up there in turnovers. Yeah, Aaron Donald, TJ Watt, they create turnovers in more ways than just show up on the stat sheet, like quarterbacks being pressured, throwing picks, but Darius Leonard himself forces them. So even though TJ Watt and those two still do force fumbles, some interceptions from them guys, but come on, man. Come on. Darius Leonard needs to be higher. Quentin Nelson could be a little higher. Jonathan Taylor could be higher. A lot of these guys could be higher. But we know the Colts always get screwed over in Madden ratings. But let me know what you guys think about these Madden ratings. I enjoyed making this video. Darius Leonard, of course, a lot of Colts players never get the love. In the first few years, you remember when Darius Leonard versus Leighton Vander Esch was a thing? Yeah, what happened? Leighton Vander Esch was ranked higher 2 years in a row. Darius Leonard had better years 2 years in a row. Yet Leighton Vander Esch found a way to be higher than him. That shows you how skewed these Madden ratings are. It shows you how ridiculous and how biased it can be. Now, they're going to be biased towards the bigger teams, bigger markets, more money, more popularity. But still, ridiculous. Got to give the players what the credit is due, and they don't do that. So I thank you guys for tuning into the JDW Sports Talk Show, where every fan's welcome. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you enjoyed it. I absolutely enjoyed making it. So